Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Walther Gewehr 43 mod, which is being made by user Subleader100. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is, well, the real-world historic Gewehr 43. And oh my, I've been having a lot of fun with this gun here in the Commonwealth. As well, you guys know me, I'm a sucker for a historic weapon. So let's jump on down here and have a look at what we do get with the G43, which in its most standard configuration will deal 37 damage with a 308 round with a firing rate of 40, range of 155, accuracy of 56, and a weight of 12.6. And as you can see here, this thing is pretty darn good looking. Very nice modeling on this, as well as texturing. Lots of great details all over the place, especially with the animation. Later I'll show off my personal favorite bit about the detailing on this in a moment, but all in all, it is just a very good looking, well-made gun, which was quite cool considering, according to the mod page for this is this mod maker's first thing being released out there, so that is pretty well made for a first go. Now you can see here we also do have a pretty hefty list of different modifications that we can put onto this gun, and that brings me to my one issue I do have with this thing. Overall, love this, but again, being this guy's first mod release, a lot of these modifications don't actually change the look of the gun when it should. Things like the barrels, for instance, there are no different barrel changes when you switch to another modification. Some do, like the sights and the muzzle, and of course the material texture changes, which is great to have. Those do change the gun, but other ones like the stock and barrel, etc., they don't. The gun's pretty much gonna look like this. Now, hopefully that changes. We see an update perhaps in the future, adding in some more models into there, but for right now, just do keep that in mind. The gun's never gonna look too dissimilar from what you're getting here. Now, as for how you do get your hands on this lovely weapon, well, it's pretty darn easy, as you just need to go to any chemistry station in the world, and you'll find down at the bottom a weapons G43 category, where you can build the G43 rifle with just a bit of aluminum, screws, springs, steel, and wood, and of course rank 1 in gun nut, so not too hard to get your hands on this thing there pretty early in the game. And thankfully, with the modifications we do have, this thing can remain fairly relevant into the mid and even late game, I'd say, with the potential damage output of this thing, which is always good. Now let's take a look at the modifications we do get, and start of course with the receiver category, where you get the pretty typical list of things from standard to calibrated on up to advanced, which will give you a increase to 64 damage. Now, as usual with these videos, that is without any additional perks upping the damage of the gun, so that's the base level 64, which is pretty darn good. Now then, in the barrel category, we've got the standard, long ported, and long vented. So very nice there if you're wanting to increase your accuracy and range. Again, I just wish it would change up the model there. Hopefully we see that in the future, but for now, it's just a stat increase. Now then, in the stock, same deal here. Stat increases between the standard, full, and the marksman stock for you to enjoy. We then have the magazines, where we have the standard 10-round, a quick eject 10-round magazine, and then an extended 20-round magazine with a quick eject version of that. Now then, in the sights, we only have 3 things here, either the standard iron sights, a laser hollow sight, and the ZF4 scope for your sniping needs, which is always good. Now then, the muzzle category, we've either got the nothing, the compensator, or the suppressor, which do thankfully add on a compensator or a suppressor to this thing, adding to the modeling over there. Very good. We then have a damage increase modifier, which you guys know me on this stuff. If it has a requirement, I'm usually okay with it. You know, something to give to get a damage increase. When they don't, though, like this one, it just kind of feels cheaty to me. But thankfully it's nothing too crazy. It's up to a plus 99% damage increase, or if you're so inclined for whatever reason, you can do a negative 99% increase, lowering the gun down to 1 damage. Why you would do that? I don't know, but hey, you do you if you want to give yourself a challenge, I guess. Good times. And then finally, we have the material category, where we either have the standard wood, a rusty one there, a dark, or a clear coat. So some nice aesthetic changes there. Always good to see that. And I do like that, especially on the rusty, you actually do on, if you look at the magazine and the barrel, it actually does go from like clean metal to the rusty there. So I think this one's my favorite, being the post-apocalypse. It seems the most post-apocalyptic-y. So yeah, good times indeed. Now, let's take some shots with this thing and show off how it does. So, pull the gun out, and good, smooth animation on this thing. There are all custom animations with it, which is pretty cool. And, of course, as well, we're getting custom sounds for it, too. So, let's take some shots in here. And there we go. Good, clean reload animation. And that, what I was mentioning earlier, is my favorite detail to the modeling on here. If we fire and reload, look inside, you can actually see the bullets in the magazine, which is just a cool, neat little detail. Some mods go to that extra level of detail. Most don't, because, you know, especially with any modern-ish looking guns, you can't really see down the top like that. So I just like those bullets being there. It's just a nice, neat little touch. Now, as for the recoil on this thing, it is very easily controllable if I just take my hand away from actually trying to compensate and just squeeze the trigger. You can see that, well, it's just pretty much bouncing up and down, not too much. And from where I was aiming there, we only really ever got up to there with the recoil, so nothing too crazy. Now, of course, the firing rate helps with keeping that under control, but all in all, still very nice to control, so easy to keep on target. Now let's grab my 2 modified versions over here that I mainly made to show off the 2 additional sights that we do have. Now, of course, iron sights, you know, they're functional, but not the greatest ever, but they will, you know, function in a pinch. Now, as for the marksman one that I've got here, that is using the hollow sight. We've got the 20-round extended magazine, and nice there on that. So good, easy to aim, very nice. And again, with that recoil, especially with the compensator up front, again, very easy to control. Again, I just really do love the reload animation there. Very cool indeed. Now then we have my suppressed sniping version I made with, I didn't mention this on the other one, these 2 guns I made with the highest amount of damage you can get between the damage modifier as well as the advanced receiver, getting it up to 100, again without any additional perks. So you can get this thing up to some pretty hefty damage with things like the rifleman perk. It would be quite nice there. But as you can see with the, oh god, what's the name of the scope again? The ZF4, there we are, just a nice scope for any of your sniping needs. And, oop, missed that one. There we are. And yeah, just a good, quiet, silenced rifle for you to just stealth around and, you know, shoot some people from a distance with. Good times, good times. Now, let's, of course, test this thing against a Deathclaw. You know what? I think I'll actually get out the marksman one. Sure, why not? And let's... Oh, nope, that was me pasting into my note document earlier of all the features on this. So let's actually go to... There we go. I did it earlier. I thought I still had that copied, but oh well. Hi, Deathclaw! And hopefully soon, goodbye, Deathclaw. Oh yeah, that 100 damage on there, not too shabby at all, though I'm still gonna have to run because I have no armor. Oh boy, run away, I'm gonna die. Okay, and now, kill him! Kill the Deathclaw! It would help if I actually hit him. I am an awful aim. There we go, he is destroyed. Excellent. So yeah, not too bad at all for dealing damage to your enemies. And overall, just a good, fun weapon. And as usual, my love of any historic guns in the game, it just really speaks to me in that regard. And it's just overall a very cool rifle. So if you'd like to have a look at this for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today, so hopefully you all have enjoyed, and you do come back for the next one. Hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod, but until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!